Howdy do, everybody. It is Stell from Stellworks Studio, and welcome to another Trash Crafts. I'm going to show you what one of the things that I do with our yarn, our plastic bag yarn, cut in a continuous strip, obviously, because knots are for chumps. What I like to do with this yarn is I like to make trash mittens. Now, actually, I call these snowball mittens. And the reason I call them that is because snow doesn't stick to the plastic. If you've ever worn homemade knitted or crocheted mittens, you know that snow likes to stick to yarn, especially wool yarn, but it'll stick to acrylic yarn too. And so I thought, well, I wonder if there's a way that I can make mittens out of the plastic yarn. And then I discovered that there is a technique called Tunisian crochet in the round, and if I use plastic for one step and regular old whatever acrylic wool, whatever you've got sitting around, don't buy don't buy yarn for this project. Just take whatever people give you that's left over from projects that they've worked on, worsted weight or a little bit thicker, and use that for the second step, and you end up with a yarn fabric on the inside and a plastic fabric on the outside. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So we're going to start with the white just because it's going to be easier to see. And we'll get that going there. And for this step, all we're going to do is pull up loops. So, and you'll notice I'm starting on a cuff. You can use any cuff you want. This is just 3 rows of double crochet folded in half and slip stitch together. This one is just a couple rows of Tunisian crochet. I think it's Tunisian Stockinette that I did. I don't remember. This one is ribbing made by crocheting in the back bump, I believe. And let's see, what's this one? Making lots of noise. This one is just Tunisian Stockinette, about 5 or 6 rows. So you can use whatever cuff method you want, but don't break off your yarn. Just leave that last loop on your hook. And then we will start pulling up loops. And let's see. Alright, we'll start here. We'll go 1 loop. And I think I'm gonna crochet over this tail just to hide it immediately. Stop with the tongue clicking still. I'm trying to figure out which. Oh yeah, I was going to use this, which is the previous row I crocheted, not the slip stitch group. Alright, I'll tighten that up. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up loops and leave them on the hook. That's the first step of any Tunisian crochet, is to go across your row and pull up loops and leave them on the hook. And see what I've got here, instead of your traditional Tunisian crochet hook, which is just like a long hook with like a knitting needle end on it, this is a double-ended, and I believe this is Clover brand. And I'm not sure if they call it a double-ended Tunisian crochet hook, or if they call it a crow hook. I I think I've seen both. But this is what's necessary for doing Tunisian crochet in the round. You've got to have that double-ended hook. And I am working with a 5.5 millimeter or US size I. Okay, onward. Pulling up. So I'm gonna pull up loops until it starts getting difficult to pull them up because it wants to go around a corner. Yeah, because I'm working on a circular piece here. Incidentally, this one's 30 stitches. Okay, so it's starting to get a little tight here, trying to get where I'm going. So next I'm going to let go of the plastic, turn it around so that my regular yarn is on the left, and now I'm just going to work the loops off 2 at a time. So I go through 1 yarn, 1 plastic, 1 yarn, 1 plastic, 1 yarn, 1 plastic, 1 yarn, 1 plastic, working off all but 2 of the plastic loops. And I leave those 2 on just so that I can maintain tension. Okay, so we will keep working around to do that. And I apologize if this is tedious, but we're just going to do it. Feel free to fast forward through if you get bored. Because I can't show you the next bit until we reach the other end. So let's see. I think I can get usually about 10 stitches, 10 to 12 I think. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah, 11, 12 before it starts feeling uncomfortable. And so then I can just turn it around. And notice how my yarns are crossed. I don't want to keep turning it this way because they'll get all tied up like that. So I'm gonna pay attention to which way my yarns are so that they can stay separated like that. So swing it down to the other end there, and 1 yarn, 1 plastic. 1 yarn, 1 plastic. All the way across. Until 2 remain. And then I'll swing it back around. Let's do it that way. Okay. Pull up more loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I believe that is the last one. So we're going to work off all but 2 of these now. Okay. Okay, so we've completed our first round, and it looks like this, which is not particularly impressive. Doesn't look like anything right now. However, one thing we are going to do right now is dig around in my pockets here for a bobby pin. This is my stitch marker, and I'm just going to use this to mark where I started. So that's my starting stitch right there. And to do this stitch, which is Tunisian Stockinette in the round, see how it looks a lot like knitting? It doesn't really look like crochet. It looks more like knit stitches. It actually looks a lot like brioche stitch knitting, where you've got the one color on the outside and then another color as an underlayer. And to do that, okay, we've got our plastic loops here, and we're going to poke our hook straight through that hole to the back. Can you see that? And then we'll pull up our loop through that hole, okay? So we poke it straight through that first loop and pull a second loop through. Straight through to the back, pull up that loop. So we'll grab about 10 of those. Let's see, what do I got? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because we got to leave 2 on the hook, and then I'll swing that around, and we're just going to leave that bobby pin there, just kind of as a start marker there. Okay. And we're just going to keep going like we did with the working off 2 loops at a time, 1 yarn, 1 plastic. Okay, and we'll turn that around, and you can see we're starting to get something that resembles a fabric. Not quite yet. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Why is my mat off kilter? There we go. Okay, I'll swing that around. Work those off. Leaving 2 on the hook. Okay. And we'll get our last last ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can see there's where we started. And I'm just going to keep going here, doing the same thing. I'm going to poke into that plastic loop, front to back, pull another loop through there, like so. Okay. Okay. Oh, why did I do? Silly me. I went too far. 2 loops still on the hook. All right. There's that. And you'll notice that leg that's on the front here, that ends up being the left side of your stitch. So both sides are visible in the finished fabric, but in the previous row that you worked, you're only going to see that left hand side. And that can get a little confusing because you're going to expect to see the right hand side, but it's not. It's the left hand side. So just keep that in mind. All right. Y'all are gonna think I'm such an awkward weirdo here. That's okay, I am. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now that we've got 3 rows, there, you can see it starting to form up. We've got it shaped up a little bit better. I think we're going to call that good for this video. And then the next one that I do, I'll show you how to do increases and decreases. That way you can do like an actual pair of mittens. If you look at this, here would be where you would increase to form this extra bit for the thumb. Here is also where you would increase, and then when you get toward the tip of the fingers, then you would decrease along here. And there are 2 different ways to do it, because one way slants your stitches to the right, and the other way slants them to the left. And I can't remember which is which right now, so I guess we'll figure it out when the time comes. So that's that. I would appreciate if you would subscribe, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see the next one when it comes out and get a notification about that, go ahead and hit that notification bell. And thank you for stopping by and playing with some trash with me. I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.